Welcome to APUSH for 5, your shortcut to mastering the AP U.S. history exam. Let's jump into our midterm review, periods 1 through 4. If you can master these hard-level questions, you're well on your way to an A. Question 1. Stimulus. Phyllis Wheatley to His Excellency General Washington, 1775. Proceed, great chief, with virtue on thy side. / Frederick Douglass, narrative, 1845. I love the pure Christianity of Christ. I therefore hate the corrupt, slave-holding Christianity of this land. Question. What broader development in African American intellectual life is reflected in the contrast between these two works? A decline in literacy and religious expression among enslaved people. B, a shift from loyalist accommodation to militant moral critique of American hypocrisy. C, the adoption of Enlightenment deism over Christian moral language. D, the rejection of Republican ideals in favor of monarchism. The correct answer is B, a shift from loyalist accommodation to militant moral critique of American hypocrisy. Wheatley sought inclusion through loyalty. Douglass exposed national hypocrisy, marking a moral and political evolution in Black authorship. Question 2. Stimulus. See image. Question. Douglass's rhetorical style most closely reflects what change in reform discourse since Wheatley's era? A, the infusion of moral absolutism and immediatism into anti-slavery rhetoric. B, the growing preference for moderation and colonization. C, the replacement of religious imagery with a secular logic. D, the abandonment of print culture as a reform tool. The correct answer is A, the infusion of moral absolutism and immediatism into anti-slavery rhetoric. Douglass replaced conciliatory virtue with uncompromising morality, embodying the immediatist tone of the 1840s. Question 3. Stimulus. See image. Question. A literary historian comparing Wheatley's and Douglass's appeals would most likely emphasize which underlying continuity? A, a disconnection between faith and political activism. B, the rejection of Christian imagery as a relic of enslavement. C, the strategic use of moral and rhetorical authority to claim intellectual equality within dominant cultural forms. D, a shared call for racial separation from American society. The correct answer is C, the strategic use of moral and rhetorical authority to claim intellectual equality within dominant cultural forms. Both mastered elite literary idioms to challenge racial hierarchies, proving moral and intellectual equality. Question 4. Stimulus. Jefferson on Louisiana Purchase, 1803. The Constitution has made no provision for our holding foreign territory. Polk's War Message, 1846. American blood has been shed on American soil. Question. The contrast between Jefferson's and Polk's arguments best illustrates what change in U.S. expansionist ideology? A, the retreat of federal authority in territorial governance. B, the emergence of isolationism as the dominant political philosophy. C, the decline of continental ambitions after 1812. D, the shift from reluctant constitutional pragmatism to aggressive manifest destiny framed as defensive necessity. The correct answer is D, the shift from reluctant constitutional pragmatism to aggressive manifest destiny framed as defensive necessity. Jefferson acted from necessity. Polk claimed divine right. Expansion moved from cautious republicanism to militant nationalism. Question 5. Stimulus. See image. Question. Both documents reflect the tension between what two recurring forces in U.S. territorial policy? A. Industrialization and sectional compromise. B. Isolationism and European alliance. C. Pragmatic economic interest and moral constitutional restraint. D. Diplomacy and cultural relativism. The correct answer is C. Pragmatic economic interest and moral constitutional restraint. Jefferson's cautious acquisition and Polk's moralized conquest reveal ambition cloaked in principle. Question 6. Stimulus. See image. Question. A historian comparing these justifications could argue that they together mark the evolution of what political concept? A. The triumph of anti-imperial restraint over expansion. B. The fusion of moral mission with territorial ambition. The ideological roots of manifest destiny. C. The end of republicanism in foreign policy. D. The emergence of regional isolationism as federal doctrine. The correct answer is B. The fusion of moral mission with territorial ambition. The ideological roots of manifest destiny. Expansion shifted from pragmatic governance to moralized destiny, linking democracy to empire. Question 7. Stimulus. Noah Webster, American Spelling Book, 1783. As an independent nation, our language too must be our own. Ralph Waldo Emerson, The American Scholar, 1837. We have listened too long to the courtly muses of Europe. Question. In combination, these excerpts reflect what enduring theme in early American intellectual life? A. The quest for cultural independence as a complement to political sovereignty. B. The rejection of literacy as an elitist European concept. C. The subordination of education to commercial interests. D. The persistence of colonial deference in cultural production. The correct answer is A. The quest for cultural independence as a complement to political sovereignty. Webster unified language. Emerson liberated thought, both rooted independence and culture. Question 8. Stimulus. See image. Question. How does Emerson's argument most directly extend Webster's earlier nationalism? A. Webster defended British orthography while Emerson denounced it. B. Both embraced classical imitation as patriotic duty. C. Emerson rejected Webster's democratic ethos in favor of hierarchy. D. Webster nationalized language. Emerson nationalized thought, transforming utility into philosophy. The correct answer is D. Webster nationalized language. Emerson nationalized thought, transforming utility into philosophy. Emerson expanded Webster's practical independence into intellectual transcendence. Question 9. Stimulus. See image. Question. A historian viewing these works together could argue they represent a continuum from what to what? A. From industrial nationalism to agrarian retreat. B. From civic didacticism to transcendental self-expression as modes of cultural nation-building. C. From isolationist culture to imperial assimilation. D. From individualism to collective socialism. The correct answer is B. From civic didacticism to transcendental self-expression as modes of cultural nation-building. Webster built civic virtue through uniform instruction. Emerson through independent intellect. Both pursued identity through culture. Question 10. Stimulus. A merchant's account, 1819, describes the sudden economic distress and bankruptcies that followed the Panic of 1819, blaming speculative lending and the collapse of credit for widespread hardship. The Albany Argus editorial, 1837, laments another financial crisis, criticizing the unregulated banking system and paper currency for fueling instability and public distrust in financial institutions. Question: comparison of these accounts best illustrates which recurring problem in early U.S. economic development? A. Successful regulation of the money supply through hard currency reform. B. Persistent federal control over industry suppressing private enterprise. C. The decline of foreign trade due to industrial self-sufficiency. D. Cycles of speculative boom and collapse resulting from weak central banking and unregulated credit. The correct answer is D. Cycles of speculative boom and collapse resulting from weak central banking and unregulated credit. Both panics stemmed from speculative expansion and the absence of stable financial oversight after the fall of the first and second banks. They reveal the instability of early capitalism and the federal government's struggle to balance growth with regulation. Thanks for watching A Push for 5. Let us know in the comments which questions you like the most. If today's practice helped you, tap like, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any future videos. And share this with a friend who's also aiming for that 5. If you want more hands-on learning or direct feedback, reach out directly. We'd love to help you take your prep to the next level. See you in the next video.